What's up, guys? My name is Withered, and welcome back to another episode of Random Talks. Today, we're gonna get into something that I'm strongly passionate about, and that is scalpers. And my passion for them is hating on them because scalpers are kind of like, I would say they're cockroaches, but I have more respect for cockroaches than scalpers because at least they kind of serve a purpose. Scalpers, on the other hand, I don't see the purpose in them because all they really do is just make everyone's day more miserable. They're kind of just like the bottom feeders of our society, except even bottom feeders have their role. Scalpers are just, just unwanted, unnecessary, and, uncool. I have more respect for mosquitoes. I have more respect for the gum on the bottom of my shoe. I have more respect for politicians than scalpers. Because at least politicians are trying to, they think they're being, you know, well off. I don't know. What I'm trying to say is that scalpers are just fucking awful. They're just the worst thing that has graced our earth, or world. And I feel like everyone would be happy if they just went away. I mean, I don't know. It's just that everything that, almost every hobby is affected by scalpers. And not all of my hobbies are affected by this, but, half of them are, I think. For Pokemon cards, especially, I used to get a pack every now and then. I used to play TCG. I played a couple local tournaments, and it was really fun. But now, I can't really, get into that because Scalpers just made it impossible for me to buy new packs and new cards and get in the meta because everything's just more expensive now. And you've seen clips probably of how bad scalpers can be. I don't think I need to really explain why they're terrible. I'm gonna move this a little farther back actually, but I don't think I need to explain why no one likes a scalper because everyone knows what scalpers do and why they're bad. So I don't think you see the Pokemon scalping videos, but I might talk about them in a different video. Who knows? But oh wait, I think I need more wood, right? Yeah. Because top here needs a little bit. I can just it, to match, kind of. That looks a little better. I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of the space, but I want it to look a little nice. So, yeah, that's what we're doing here. Let's see. I think that's good for now, but yeah, and then another example is I collect retro video games. I don't just collect them, but I play them if I have the consoles and, means to play them. Like, for example, I have a bunch of old Xbox 360 games. I have, the one you're seeing right now. I also have some PSP, some PS2. Even though I don't have a PS2 right now, I'm gonna get one in the future, so that'd be nice, but yeah, I have old retro games, and I don't know, it's just that I know that, retro games that aren't being made anymore are obviously going to be more expensive than, regular games sometimes, but it feels like, a bunch of, the games that I really do want, like the old Pokemon GBA games, or just any old Pokemon game, they're, over the top expensive, in my opinion. And yeah, I love these games to death, but, I'm not paying $300 for Pokemon Emerald, at least not yet, because I know it's a good game, but, right now, $300 is a lot of money. It's not really something you can gloss over easily. But, you know, scalpers just make, or people that buy them a lot just make it really difficult for me to justify paying that much money right now. And this hasn't affected all my hobbies. I can still, get a guitar for a decent price. You know, I could still listen to music for a decent price, even though tickets are even more expensive now, which is part of my problem. But at least the ticket, like the shows I'm seeing, like aren't being scalped, unlike, you know, any Taylor Swift concert, which I'm not a Swiftie, so I don't really care about. I mean, I do care to some extent, because like I hate scalpers, even if they scalp something I don't personally like. But it's just really annoying that, you know, all these hobbies are being ruined. Like, and a couple of other hobbies are not being ruined, like manga. I collect, you know, I read manga, so I have like my whole shelf, and anime figures to some extent, which I have a few of, but I don't really like, you know, buy them that often, and they aren't really scalped too heavily. At least I don't think so. At least the ones I collect aren't. So, but like the ones like, you know, video games and Pokemon cards, those are going to be scalped to the end of time probably. I know that like some of the newer sets or Pokemon cards are like, you know, making scalpers lose money, which is really good. I hope they don't earn anything, because I don't know who actually supports scalpers. I think for every 1,000 people who shit on a scalper, there's at least one person who dick rides them, who supports them, and you know, that's just like, it's really annoying, because I don't think they even deserve it, but there are people who are delusional enough to think that, so it is what it is, I guess. But I guess the only thing you can really do about it is you just keep going and ignore the scalpers trying to sell you stuff and overpriced, and you know, just hope that they learn their lesson eventually. But anyways, that's gonna be it for now. I just want to do something short, like again. So hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in another video. Bye everyone.